Hello again, I am Jim Bob and welcome back to Genesis Alpha 1. We are now back over this little cluster of space because we need the aluminium. I want to get the hyperdrive up and running quickly so we can start bouncing around bigger distances. And this is the closest system that actually has aluminium in it. If we take a quick look in here, you can see that we have 8 units of aluminium in this debris field. We also have a couple of sites that we can explore as well while we're in here, and we also have some more sulfur and some iron, some more sulfur there as well, and down here a bit more iron. So some other useful resources. If we take a quick look at our current storage, you can see we don't really have much of anything in stock anymore. I did use up a lot of the sulfur to make some additional turrets and our lithium to make some additional barriers, so we have 6 turrets and barriers in storage, which is good. We can start spreading those throughout the ship and making sure that when we do start jumping into slightly more hostile area, we'll have some defenses in place in case we do get boarded. We've got quite a bit of iron already, as you can see, a little bit of copper, but not a lot of stuff in general, other resources. And we do have a nice little selection of plants that we're building up as well. So once we've crafted the hyperdrive, the plan will be to sort of use it to jump back down to here, kind of where we roughly started out, because we do have aluminium in here as well, quite a nice little bit, 9 units of aluminium, and we'll use that to then create a second greenhouse so that we can really start to expand our crew a little bit more as well. But let's get everything sort of up and running. So I'm going to trigger the debris field there. Start gathering that aluminium from there. We're going to go launch a mission on the planet's surface and attack those sites. So we'll start off over here in Jedroa.
Destination set.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3.
You can see we've got 3 turrets with us. We haven't got any barriers with us. Might need to start carrying a couple of those with us as well. As we start moving to planets that we haven't been to before that are slightly more hostile, we are potentially not just going to get creepy crawlers coming at us, but humanoids that will open fire on us as well, meaning we'll be at risk from range attacks. And it's always a good idea to be able to kind of retreat into the harvester when necessary, have a barrier up here for protection, maybe even a turret lurking inside there as well. Certainly on some of the more aggressive planets we're going to come across, that is quite a useful little additional bit of defense that we can have, because the turret on top of the harvester does have a little bit of a range limit, and you can see the crew being attacked already. I wonder what's going after them. We'll check in on them in a moment. Let's try to find this site. Quite open over here. Oops, right near the barrier there. Oh, there we go. We've got a monolith.
20%.
Oh, now this is humanoids. You can see they have that kind of teleporting in kind of style there. See our turret just popping us out. We could get a new DNA type. And we've got creatures as well, look. Ooh. Oh, they're firing acid at us. Oh, that's not good. Oh, we're going to be really careful. I've got an alien location of Freeman. Okay, so at least we'll get a bit of a heads up as to where they're going to be. Let's grab some of this biomass just to keep us alive a little bit longer. Oh, look at that. We passed upon the opportunity to get Zeleny DNA from the trader. We are now in a position where we can actually find Zeleny. And we're dead. Oh, no. Rhodes has died. So, Wolfie is now the captain. Congratulations, Wolfie. This is a dangerous situation. We need to throw out a turret. We're about to come under fire. So we're down a crew member. We'll have to obviously create a new crew member. Oh, we picked up some weapon samples as well. Power shotgun. So when we get 10 of those, we will be able to use the weapons research available in the workshop and actually start researching how to craft the shotgun. And we've got creepy crawlies coming. Just going to switch over to our acid thrower, although I want to fire it when I'm near the crew like that. I don't want to kill another crew member. Can't believe I'm dead. I want to say I'm... Oh! We're getting attacked. There we go. Snuck up from around the side there. Yeah, I can't believe that I'm dead. When I say I'm dead, it was Captain Rhodes was our sort of default starting captain. There we go, you can see the combination of the sort of scattergun acid approach did help us out a bit. Very hostile planet this. Oh, another DNA sample. A lot more biomass we're going to need to collect that, and these weapon samples as well. Oh, look at that. Acid rifle. We have the acid thrower, which is a grenade weapon, but this is the acid rifle. I've not seen that before. There's more there, look. Shoot him in the face with some acid. Oh! There's more of them coming in, look. He's shooting us with a power shotgun. We might be able to get... Oh, we're almost dead. Wolfie's almost dead. This is not good at all. We are really in danger. I've got creepy crawlies as well. This is not a safe place for us to be. Let's throw down another turret. We've got some ammo to pick up as well. Some shells. Getting some good samples here. So definitely a much more hostile planet. I was talking that we were going to come across these, and already you can see they are certainly proving to be... Well, this is certainly proving to be a lot more dangerous. One crew death. Our first crew death, actually. And in a way, I'm kind of glad it was, you know, myself that died and not one of the enlisted crew. Rhodes was never intended to be necessarily, you know, a long-term representation of myself, and the fact that I'm dead does mean I could theoretically bring myself back in. Oh, look at that. We've reached the limit of our biotank. That's 80 units. Actually saw some of that acid whiz past me there. I'm going to just hang around here a little bit longer, even though it's dangerous, just because already we're up to 8 Zelny. So there's a chance that we can get this new DNA sample up and running. And on top of that, we're getting some, you know, additional ammo drops, which is nice. It's going to help restock our weapons rack, and on top of that, we are also getting weapon samples as well. So we can unlock the power shotgun. That would be excellent. So I just want to kind of hang around a little bit longer. Maybe see if we can knock those out. This is a risk, but could well be worth it. Although we don't seem to be getting any... Oh, I was going to say we're not getting any more humanoids, and we've just been hit with a laser rifle, an acid rifle. Heal up a little bit. No weapon fragments. Let's try and keep Wolfie alive a little bit longer. There we go. DNA. Weapon fragments. More DNA. So we've now got a new clone that we can research. The Zelny clones. There's creatures. Yeah, this is creatures. Ah, no. When we see them teleporting in like that, that's definitely hostile creatures. Just kind of peppering the area with acid a little bit. Try and at least wound them, if not kill them. That acid rifle, I think, is going to be a lot more effective than the acid thrower, which is a bit of a scattergun approach. Oh, I'm out of ammo. Alright, it might be time for us to think about moving, think about leaving. At the very least, I'm going to grab some more ammo. I do want to try and just get that extra sample or two if I can. We've got to come back down to this planet anyway to get the rest of the resources, but I would be sending the crew down on their own. Oh, that's an acid thrower. We've been hit by acid. Oh no, Wolfie's dead too. I'm sorry, Wolfie.
New captain promoted.
Mike is now captain. Your death will not be in vain. Another acid rifle sample. Creepy crawlies. We're just going to get out of here. We've suffered 2 casualties now. That's not good at all. Plus, if we die now, we lose everything that we've gathered. So, yeah, not a good situation to be in. Down to crew members. Let's see. We do need to do some crew replacement now, as a result of that. Let's go to the workshop first of all. Seven samples and 6 of the power shotgun. We're going to have to go back down to the planet if we want to get the rest of those samples ourselves, as well as the crew. Let's see, can we make some tougher crew? I have picked up the first sample of alien awareness ability as well, as you can see. I was just doing my little run through the ship just to check for infestations, bits of drop biomass, etc, etc, and came across that outside one of the deposits. So we do have the first sample that's needed. Of course, we need 10 before we can research that. But we can research the Zeleny, which we do know is tougher than humans. Do we have somebody working in here? No, we don't. So we'll have to do the research ourselves.
Resource acquired.
I can't remember what atmosphere these guys take. 125 NH3. Do we have NH3 plant? We do. So let's head over to the greenhouse and let's plant an NH3 plant. Got one space left in our planter. Let's plant our Zerx leaf.
Resources collected.
I need to assign somebody to work in here. Let's see. Who can I bring? Let's bring Binny off the bridge.
Job assigned.
Binny can be our gardener for the day. That reflection there. That kind of worried me for a minute. Then I thought we had an infestation. It's been a little while since I did a check down at the back as well. Around the refinery and the deposits. So let's go and have a quick look through there. There goes our plant. Our Zerx leaf. No samples here. What's the barrier strength at? Still 600. Ammo counts 440. No damage to the power nodes. That's good. What are we looking like in here?
Resources collected.
Barrier strength down to 340. Ammo count down to 225. So definitely been very busy in here. I think what I'll do is I'll put that used turret just there as a backup turret.
New materials have been refined.
How are we doing in here? We don't actually have any crew assigned in here now because they're both dead.
Resource acquired.
Any problems in here? All looking good so far. No visible sign of infestation. Okay. How much more aluminium have we got? Oh, this is the last piece, perhaps? Yeah, this is the last piece. So we'll start scanning and beaming up the sulfur next, I think.
Resources collected.
There we go. We can also now craft the hyperdrive. We'll do that later. I want to get these new clones up and running first. We've got the new biosphere there, the NH3, so we can add a clone. Let's go into the clone lab. And let's craft ourselves a Zelny.
Cloning initiated.
We'll have to wait for that second plant to be tweaked by Binny.
Acquired.
Something came up through the tractor beam there. Any samples? No? Okay. And because we're in a system that has Zelny on a planet, that does mean that we are actually at risk of beaming up a Zelny inside the teleporter, the tractor beam here, as well. So we could get armed projectile guys coming through in here as well. Okay, so
New clone arrived. Resources collected.
there we go, our first new crew member. This is Burke, and we're actually going to rename Burke. And this is going to be Mitchell, for Dan Mitchell. There we go. So Mitchell is born into our crew. Mitchell will be going into the
Resource acquired.
hangar on away duty, and we'll be crafting another Zeleny as the second crew member. And this will be Matt, for Matt O'Donoghue. And there we go. So let's just rename Wallace.
Resources collected.
And there we go. 2 brand new crew members with a tougher resistance, both ideal to go on away missions due to their increased health. So let's assign both
Job
Mitchell
assigned.
and Matt
Job assigned.
in the hangar. There we go. We have actually got space for another crew member as well. Although we are still working on unlocking the arachnid or the arachnoid DNA. I kind of maybe want to just wait and see if we can get that unlocked before I drop in a replacement for a human. You know, i.e. for me that died, I was human as Rhodes.
Harvester
Launch the
destination
harvester.
set.
9 launch sequence activate. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Let's see how well we can do down here. Hopefully hopefully we're not going to lose guys straight away. That would be bad if that's the case. A very short-lived run on the crew. And I'm going to be running sort of defensive protection while the crew does the harvesting. And there we go, straight away we've got more Zeleny coming in, look. They're using power shotguns. And we've got a new weapon sample. Oh, more of them coming in. Oh, we got acid. Oh no, I couldn't make it back. Tried to get back and pick up some health. Oh, we've taken over as Mitchell already.
New captain.
Oh, we're just dropping like flies today. This is really bad. This is a very, very hostile planet compared to what we have been up against so far. I was talking about how we might come across humanoid enemies, and oh, straight away we're being attacked again.
Weapons activated.
More power shotgun blasts there. This is a really bad situation for us to be in here. But, you know, the rewards are some useful loot.
Life form detected.
Some weapon samples, we're getting, you know, DNA. Well, we've had DNA, but now we're getting weapon samples. We're getting, you know, ammo packs for when we get new guns. And we need to help out now with the harvesting as well, so we can get off here a little bit quicker. So we've suffered yet another crew death. More enemies incoming. Ow, another shotgun blast at point blank range. Laser rifle, decent for bugs, not very good for humanoids, unfortunately. Coming under fire from different angles.
Weapons deactivated. Weapons activated.
We lost.
Oh no, already! He got trapped. We've lost another crew member. A bug killed him, of all things. Oh, this is bad. I've got them hiding at the back here as well. Look, this is a really, really bad mission for us. We're getting slaughtered. How many samples have we got? We've got 3. Let's throw down another turret. Give me a bit more protection.
New weapon research unlocked.
Well, there we go. We've got a new weapon that we can research, the power shotgun. But it's come at quite a cost. We've lost quite a few crew members. And we're almost out of ammo as well. I've just realised how little ammo we've got left.
Life form detected. Access granted.
Those shotguns, they hurt. We've got stuff sneaking up behind us as well.
Life form detected.
Oh, it's just never ending, is it? We've got 4 samples. That was actually it. There was only 4 samples left, so we've cleared out. What's the turret shooting at? Must have been bugs. Let's get out of here.
Deactivated. 10, 9, launch, 8, activated. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. I can't believe someone's died already. I think it was Matt. Was it Matt died?
Resources collected.
This has been brutal for us. Absolutely brutal. That's the reactor. That's not where I want to be. I can't get over just how bad that was.
Cloning initiated.
Craft a replacement for... I think I'm Mitchell at the moment. What will it actually tell me? If I go to captain stats, does it tell me the name of my new captain? No, it doesn't. There's no mirrors either, so I can't have a look in a mirror to see what name's on my chest tag. But I do believe I am currently Mitchell. I'll have to check the footage back. I think it's Matt that died. I will run a sort of a memorial feature at the end, just so we can list off all the crew members and the episode that they started and finished on.
Resources collected.
So that's going to be a very short run. I think it was, what, less than 5 minutes. I'm so sorry. But next crew member is David Quintanilla. Has asked for the crew name DQ. So there we go. DQ has joined the crew. Dear, oh dear, this has just not gone well at all, has it?
Materials have been refined.
DQ's going to go on to duty at on the bridge. Let's see. I'm going to need an extra crew member as well.
Resource acquired.
Let's see, how many have I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've got atmosphere for 2 more clones, I think. Let's
Cloning
craft another human.
initiated.
I've already got 2 mantis. We don't have any space for any more plants in our current situation, so we can't plant any more crawl or any plants to get a crawl. We'll go with another human, I think.
Cloning
There we go. Let's bring 2 more new crew members in, just to start filling up some of those slots.
New clone has been welcomed.
Okay, there we go. First
Resource
is
acquired.
Neil, a human clone, and Neil is going to be Hatley for Craig. Oh, sorry, for Craig. So there we go. Craig is now part of the crew, and next up will be Emilio for Emilio Greenwood. So we are rattling through crew very, very quickly today, which is kind of good, also kind of bad. I do.
Resources collected.
Oh, we've got stuff sneaking on board. Let's rename Alvaro. Or Alvaro. To Emilio. There we go. Welcome, guys. Welcome to the crew. Let's see, did we get anything dropped in here that we can use? A little bit of biomass. We've spent a lot of biomass recently creating those new clones. We were picking up an awful lot down there. But we might still need to get another biomass tank at this rate. And we're done with all of the sulfur. We're going to need to start crafting some more tablets, some more turrets again, I think, if we carry on like this. Alright, so I need crew to come down to the planet with me. It's a dangerous job. DQ's coming with me because DQ is tough. 125 health, toughest of the crew aside from, you know, aside from the person I'm currently controlling, which I think, as I said, is Mitchell. And let's bring Craig down as well. It's a dangerous job, but it's got to be done. You're going to get the glamour and the excitement of the away missions, but you're also going to get the shortest life expectancy of any member of the crew. A bit of a double-edged sword. Nothing sneaking out through here. That's probably a good thing. So we should have cleared out Jedroa. We have. Let's clear out this planet. Go to the site.
Resources collected.
There's only one resource to collect, so this will be a short away mission for the crew. We will have to
3, 2, 1, 0.
just top our health up a touch. We will have to make sure that we are grabbing whatever's at the site. Hopefully it's going to be something really useful. So we're going to be scampering around like crazy trying to find that thing as fast as possible. Oh, and it's a planet where it's going to be hard to see stuff. Ah, it's really going to test me and test my patience on this one. Got to find that that site quickly. Hopefully we're not going to get attacked by our
Archives.
humanoid protagonists again. Or antagonists. We're the protagonists.
20%.
I can hear gunfire.
40%.
I'm hoping it's going to be just bugs on this planet.
60%.
Humanoids that shoot at you in this kind of vegetation are going to be very hard to spot.
All phases complete.
Oh, we got the assault rifle. Ah, this is I love this gun. Very, very, very nice gun indeed. We'll have to add that to the weapon rack when we get back. We've got creatures coming for us, and I can't find a way through the rocks. There we go. We've got our one and only. It's worms. There we go. Just grab the biomass and let's boogie.
9,
We've grabbed the one and only bit of resource that was available. That one piece of iron.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Right, so we're back on the ship. And we can kind of take stock a little bit now. We are in a position where we can now build a little bit more for our ship. So,
This is our hangar module.
have I still got copper? Yes, I've still got some copper. Good. So we're going to have a little bit of a redesign of the ship, a little bit. Mainly this sort of lower area. I've never been keen to have the reactors hanging off the edge here, but I've got plenty of
This module grants
material
access to the service
to
tunnels of the
expand our ship. Do I want to get another
Make sure that
biotank, or
you
do I want to
always
go
have
with a
enough
third?
access points in mind when
Or I
designing
think I'll
the
go with
ship.
an extra crew quarter,
This will help
possibly.
to detect and to defend infestations.
Hang on a minute, what's missing? Quarters. Quarters. Why is that all the way over there? Oh, idiot. I've realised what I've done wrong here. Okay, not so clever. I wonder why my ship looked a bit wonky on one side there. So I want crew. I want quarters. There we go. So we could have another biotank up here to get perfect symmetry. I don't want an extra biotank. 80 is enough, I think. So we'll put a crew quarters in there. That allows me to then remove this one without affecting our crewmates. And then put in one here where it's supposed to be. And there we go. Now we've got the mirror of that. But except this time it's with crew quarters on both sides of the corridor. Then we can get our greenhouse on the end there. So that bit of corridor needs to come off. That saves a piece of energy. There's this section down here that needs a bit of work. So let's see, corridor. Let's bring that out like that. What I'm thinking is that we'll move storage into this area perhaps. Let's do that for now. Put a little bit of storage in here. Almost out of resources. No, it's not almost out of resources, it's almost out of energy. Okay, so in that case what I need to do before we do that is I need to think about where the reactor is going to go and also where the engines are going to go. Let's take a look. What do I need for a hyperdrive? 5 energy and 5 aluminium. The hyperdrive is quite a big module.
In the Alpha Quadrant.
I'm thinking
With
that
a
I stick
hyperdrive engine
these.
installed, we can reach all of them, and much faster than using the ship's impulse drive. To set travel destinations, use the Galaxy terminal on the bridge. The more hyperdrive modules we have, the further we can jump.
Right, okay. This allows me to tidy up our symmetry issue, I think. I'm just trying to see. Space-wise, that is 2 blocks. That's 2 blocks. There's a symmetry there. Symmetry there in terms of spacing. It's the spacing more than the exact symmetry that is something that I try to, to copy. So everything here needs to be sort of at that distance. I could turn these eventually into deposits, but I don't know if I will or not. So the engine wants to come somewhere off here. Let's get the engine in place first of all. That's going to be perhaps one of the more critical things. So let's bring a connection down. And there we go. We have our first hyperdrive engine, and what we'll do is we'll mirror that on the other side, and we'll bring a corridor down and we'll have a hyperdrive engine off the back there as well. This also now potentially allows me a way to put our reactors in. So let's go to life systems. Let's go reactor. You can have up to 5 reactors on a ship. Now, that would be a great spot for us to stick a reactor, but that spacing won't be there on the opposite side. So... Actually, will it be? No, it wouldn't. Because that's the same side. Unless... See, again, I would kind of like the idea of doing that. But again, we can't mirror it, so the engine's going to positioning is going to be off. It's awkward. That would be a useful spot for a reactor, though. Something to stick in that spot. I mean, I could also put another refinery in there, perhaps. Ooh, my stomach is gurgling away in the background. I do apologise if you can hear that on the microphone. I kind of prefer the idea of having the reactors near the engines. I just think that might be a better place for them. Alright, let's stick a reactor there. Let's delete these bits to save a little bit of energy. Let's duplicate this on the other side so we can put a second... we can relocate this reactor and then put in a second... Well, actually, we don't quite have enough aluminium, but when we do, we'll put in a second hyperdrive engine down here. So let's go connections, corridor, and bring that down. How many spaces do I need to come down? A few. 3, I think. There we go. There you see, we're just a couple of aluminium short, but we're going to go to a site where we've got aluminium, and we'll stick another engine in just here. And then we can put our reactor over here. Let's just add in... it's in life systems, isn't it? Let's add in that reactor there, like that, and then we'll have our other engine coming off there. I'm going to have a gap down here, but again, I can possibly put in some storage down that space there, so we get some really good, cargo capacity. It's going to be very useful for trading going forward, having the ability to carry a lot of extra cargo. And that means we could then perhaps turn these into deposits as well by moving the storage. Let's look at doing that, actually. Let's drop in some storage here. Down the side of the... actually, no, it's only going to be a little bit of storage, isn't it? Okay. What about a second refinery? Could do a second refinery like that. I'm trying to keep the refinery isolated from the rest of the ship, though. I want to try it, so you can see here, this is a kind of a self-enclosed area. It has to go into the hangar, so it isolates it from places like the reactors and the engines and crew and greenhouses and stuff. That there's only one way for stuff to go. And I don't really want to start messing with the order of that a little bit. Again, I could do something here, but I would have to put a corridor in here, which would then link into this bit, which means that anything that did escape from the refinery would have a chance to not just go in towards the other refinery or the storage areas where it's contained, but would be able to go to the reactor, to the engine, follow the corridor around, and it's into the tractor room, and from there it's into the rest of the ship. So I'm trying to keep that isolated. So I think what I'll do instead is I'll move this reactor, I'll destroy that, and I'll use this space to put in a third reactor over here instead, just so we're going to have plenty of power available going forward, like that. And it just blocks in that little bit of space that's being wasted. We can put some storage down here in this little block here, or maybe we could perhaps change that space for something else going forward. I do want to try and use the space effectively if I can. I might drop an access hatch down here as well, actually, so we can get underneath into the engine. I've never actually been inside one of the engines before. Let's go take a little look-see. So follow our corridor along. You can see our ship now with that new layout. There's our hyperdrive. Never actually been in here before. And again, the engine design will vary depending on the ship that you're running. This is all very funky though, isn't it? Screens to monitor power levels, I'm guessing. There's no interactive terminal down here because it's all a self-contained unit. Be kind of cool to see what the engine looks like when we're jumping, but it's the wrong end of the ship, so I can't get here before we finish the jump. There we go. And we've got our reactors over here. Nice little extra power supply. Right, now that we've kind of cleared out this system, let's go get that other aluminium so we can create a second hyperdrive and also create another greenhouse. So we should be able to jump to this system now, I hope. Oh no, we can't quite yet, but you can see, instead of being able to only jump one square, I can now hyper jump to here. And it uses 1 uranium to get there. That's just outside of our range window. So let's hyper jump to here, and then we'll do a little hop to the next square. Kind of back where we started again. Oh, merchant's here. And he has a scheme. Let's jump and visit the merchant again. I think Sartorius is who we got our other scheme from. Maybe it's changed now that we've actually got what he's offering. Let's have a look, see what he's trading. Yeah, look, see, he's offering the Zelny 1, but we already have that. So, we are kind of good to go. He's got some aluminium, though. What have I got a lot of that I could trade quite comfortably? I've got plenty of uranium. Let's take... Although, do I really need that anymore? It's got gold. That could be useful. Things we're about to get. Well, I'll grab the uranium, the aluminium, because we can always put the rest in storage. You know, if we end up with a decent surplus, and it's a good value commodity, so we can trade it in the future if we need to. How much do we need to spend? 18. Quite a bit of iron. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll make that trade. Perhaps a little unnecessary, but I would like to have that extra material. We'll jump back to here to grab that aluminium from space. Maybe next time we see Sartorius, he'll have something different to offer us. That would be nice. So let's start beaming up that aluminium, and while that's going on, let's go back into our ship management system. We now have enough aluminium to create our second hyperdrive, so we can jump even further. There we go. Just going to delete these for a second. Again, just save the energy. No point wasting it.
Life form detected.
Something snuck up. Just a little bit of a bug. We'll grab some extra biomass, use up, or replace some of the stuff that we've used up recently. There we go. And let's build ourselves a second greenhouse. So Life Systems greenhouse. And there we go. A second greenhouse there. Ship's starting to come along. We've just got this single kind of point here in the middle at the moment, which is our tractor beam. Space for future modules to kind of build into this area. But it does seem like the whole ship is just very flimsily held together with just this single connection here. God, if that happened, we would lose half the ship if that blew up. That's quite a scary thought, actually. We should probably try and establish another connection somewhere else in the future. At the moment, we could bring corridors down this way, but when we get an upgraded clone lab, that would change, as with the workshop. I'm tempted to actually move these down to here. If I'm going to do that, actually. Let's do that. Let's go to crew. I don't have enough iron. Not yet. Okay. Let's destroy this clone lab. Go to crew. And let's move the clone lab down to here. And that also opens up space for an additional crew quarters in there. And same with the workshop. We'll destroy the workshop. There we go. And you can see we haven't killed anybody. There is our crew member who was in there. I think it was it Ruff who was in the greenhouse? Sorry, was in the workshop. Has been teleported to the bridge and will now make its way to a crew quarters. You see him sort of walking down to the entrance of the tunnels and the corridors there. He's off to a crew quarters waiting to be assigned a new position. So I want to go to defense. Stick the workshop there. We still have space for those units to take up more space as they're expanded. You know, once we get access to those schemes. And now we have space up here for new crew quarters. So what I will do is I will build a new biotank. Let's destroy this crew quarters here.
Knowing the fine arts is crucial for a human's social competence, to build his ethical values, and to develop a proper taste. This module increases healing speed.
And there we go. We'll have the crew quarters here, along here like that, and then our biotanks at the front of the ship. So that's kind of where we're up to. We've lost a couple of good crew members. We've lost a couple of crew members who weren't on the crew long enough to become good crew members. There was literally a blink and you miss it for a couple of people, and I do apologise about that. That is unfortunately just the risk of signing on board one of these Genesis ships. But we are in a reasonable position going forward. We do have somewhere, I think.
Resource acquired.
Oh no, I was thinking of a different system. Let's just launch the harvester, send those guys off to collect some resource. We do have ourselves a pretty strong looking ship now going forward. With the new greenhouse as well, that means we can start introducing additional plants, which means we can expand our biosphere and start adding in an even bigger crew, so we can start staffing this ship a little bit better as well. So that is it from me. Thanks for watching. I am Jim Bob, and I'll be back with some more Genesis Alpha 1 here on the PS4 very soon.